Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to share another flower template, and this is one that is very Christmas themed, so I thought I would do this now. So I've been really into making flowers modeled after flowers that you see in nature. So ones that you actually, they actually have a name, though I give it like an arbitrary number, like template 27. So this one's template 27. But really it's modeled after the Amaryllis flower, which is very, very popular for Christmas and winter season. I think it's a great alternative to the poinsettia, which is, very red, and so it's very Christmas themed, on trend for Christmas. And so because of that, I really like this flower for Christmas, and I thought I would mix it into some of my Christmas or winter themed backdrops or flower displays. But I like this one most because it makes it very easy. There are only 6 petals and there really isn't much to this paper flower. So let's get started. I'll show you how I made this. So for this flower, what I'm using is a 3-inch wide circle, a flower center that has 4 pieces of stamen. You can use 5. I kind of make it like my flower center number 7. I'm going to leave that link below. So I just create a little one because it's so, because there's not really that many. I think you can do this by hand very easily, and you don't really need to make the stamens anything special. So I have that one. I decided to have 4 pieces, but you can have 5 stamen things, whatever you call them. And then I have 6 petals. These are 4 inches wide, and they're all the same size. So this one I decided to make it in a darker red, but this one is more of a true red, like a Christmas red, so I think this one will be better. And so to make this flower, all you need is a hot glue gun, glue sticks, a pair of scissors, and a bone folder. I have links below to where you can find this. And this paper is 65-pound cardstock. This specific paper is from Michaels. It's their 50 piece 65-pound cardstock packs. I like this paper because it's bright, it's vibrant, and it's relatively cheap, especially around the holidays. Just look for a sale. I think this is a perfect red. So this is great for Christmas. So again, like I said, very easy to make this flower. So I'll just go through the steps. With this petal here, so I'm calling this template 27 because it's just easy to reference that, but this is what I use to make the Amaryllis. I think in the future I'll see if I can make any other flowers that look kind of similar. So with this petal, all that I do is I fold it in half, like that. I do take my bone folder and score it. Score where I folded, and then from here, with the tip of the petal at the top, I take my bone folder, or you can use a glue stick or whatever tool that you're using to curl. I just start from where I folded that and scored that line, and I just sort of pull and curl. So I'm only curling the bottom portion, not the top. And I do that on the other side. I start from sort of this portion here, the left side of the petal. I start from the bottom, I start from the top with the tip pointing this way, and then I just curl it that way. That way it looks like so after I've curled it, what it looks like is these portions here on the side, on the lower side, are curling in. And then from here, I want to just curl the tip out of this. So sometimes it's easier to flip it around and then just curl that tip portion or that side portion, so that we did originally curl from here, and then we just curled the end the other way. And then I cut the petal about 1.5 inches, to 2 inches, and then I glue 2 flaps together. So what that gives us is a raised petal, and then it has the bottom portion curled. You don't need to curl the top. I did curl it here for an example, but you don't need to do that. So here, the petals, the tip of this petal is curved down. You can do that, or you could just leave it curled. you could just leave it uncurled. So here, if you want, you can cut off that little tail that it gives, if you want. And then you have a petal like this. And so you just do that with all 6 petals. So I will go ahead and just do that really quick. I'll put that on fast forward so you don't have to see the same steps over and over. Again, it's just fold, curl, cut, and then glue. So same steps that we usually do, just in a different manner. But what I like about this is that you don't need to do that many for this flower, so 6 petals in total. I do think that you could make a larger, like you can make large sizes of this flower if you'd like. However, I think this is a great petal to mix in with roses or whatever flowers that you have to add more dimension to your flower displays. And so if you're doing a poinsettia backdrop, so a bunch of poinsettias, and you don't want just one flower or just a full backdrop of poinsettias, this is something that you can add and mix in. It's kind of like what you can do with a regular backdrop of roses. You can add hydrangea pieces to it, so this is kind of the equivalent. Okay, so from here, all it is putting together the flower. And I do want to start really quick with the flower center. So what I do is I take it and I bend back the top portion. I call this stamen. I'm not sure if it's called a stamen or not. If you know the correct terminology, let me know. But I just kind of bend it back. I just sort of did one way and then the other way. Just did it in sort of a pattern so they're not all the same way. And what I do with it is to get this sort of yellow, again, stamen, I actually paint it. So I take a scrap of paper like this. I'd use a foam brush, so I did this one earlier, that's why it still has paint on it. And I used Martha Stewart's satin paint in Pollen. So I just take a little bit, I squeeze it right onto the foam brush, and I take just a scrap piece of paper because I have so many of these. I don't ever throw away scraps, and I just paint on. Paint on just the ends. And there is no professional way of doing this. You know, I actually like the look that it gives. It doesn't give like a full covered piece there, and I actually leave it like that. You can tell in this flower it's kind of the same thing. I like that look because if you ever touched a flower center, it kind of gives you this sort of chalky like pollen on it, and so I thought it was mimicking that really well. So I kind of just dab it with this foam brush to kind of look, it gives it sort of like a texture. That's just my preference, but obviously you can do to your liking. And I kind of just paint that really quickly. You can do a bunch of them at the same time. I'm going to put this back here to dry. And then, so I let that dry. It dries pretty quickly because I only put a little bit of glue here. So with this circle, I just start gluing the flower petals. So it's really 2 layers of 3 petals each. And this couldn't be any easier, but I start with 1 petal, and then I use that to kind of guide where I should put my other petals. And then I want to make sure that I overlap it just a bit in the center. You don't have to glue it like right smack dab in the center of the circle. It's kind of more to use as a base. So I obviously didn't use one that was very big. It's a 3-inch circle. You could use one smaller if you like. So it does cover, the petals do cover that base, which is what I wanted. So there again, first petal layer, and then you just do the same with the other one, or the remaining petals. And so I try to make sure that now I am right in the middle of where these petals are. And I only glue down 2 to start of the last layer. And what I do from here is I actually fold this in half. Or I don't, so what I do with this, I fold it in a way that it looks like they're matchsticks right next to each other. So I just had it in this piece here. So when I made it, I just gave it a little bit of a rectangle box on the bottom portion of this flower center. There really was no rhyme or reason, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it so that each of these stamen pieces will sit like they're matches next to each other. And then what I do is I actually glue this down first. So I only glue the portion that has that rectangle. And then what I do is to hide that little piece there, I glue this last petal over it. And then I take these stamen pieces and then I try to, twist and turn them around a little bit to kind of give it more of a realistic look. So here, since I glue this petal over that stamen flower center piece, now I don't see that bottom portion. It looks like it comes from the center, which is what we want. We don't want to kind of show the piece that we had cut out there. So I just thought adding that in before you add your last petal works really well. I'm going to give a close-up. So there you have it. This is my Amaryllis flower template number 27. So I think a number of these sprinkled into your holiday backdrop would be very nice, especially because of this beautiful red color. Let me know if you have any questions below. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.